Today in crypto land, shocking proposals out of Italy underline why Bitcoin is so gosh darn important. The latest updates about how the FATF travel rule is due to affect the crypto industry, and there are more delistings targeting US crypto buyers. What will the impact of all of this be on the crypto markets? By the way, before we do begin though, just a note. You have got to take your security seriously in crypto. Exchanges are not banks, as many of today's stories will illustrate in such a plain way for you. Go and get yourselves a hardware wallet. I personally recommend the new Ledger Nano X. It is out now. It has expanded storage for applications. It has Bluetooth, and it has free shipping. There is a referral link down below in the description and in the comment section where you can click on to get your device. And actually, to start off today, a story that really underlines why you need to be in control of your money. Italy proposes, and it's important to underline that this is just a proposal, not a law yet. So Italy proposes a tax on savings hidden in safety deposit boxes, whether it be cash, gold, or other valuables. And the oh so merciful government has stated that those who come forward and admit to their savings will only face a 15% tax. Others will face tougher penalties. Just imagine that craziness for a minute. You have made your money legally at your job. You've paid your income taxes. You've done everything by the books. So you take your cash, maybe you bought a bit of gold. You take that too. Maybe you take your family jewelry, grandma's diamond necklace, all that stuff. You put it in a bank, in a safe deposit box, because it has the word safe in the title. You think that must be a good place to store my things, in the bank, in the safe place. Oh no. The government is now proposing to steal 15%, at least in terms of value that you have there, so you have to pay a tax on that, necessarily going in and stealing 15% of the money out of the boxes, but screw that noise, man. You know who never raids your account and steals from you? Bitcoin! Your keys, your Bitcoin. It's almost like the banks are creating ads for us about why people should go out and buy Bitcoin. Thanks, banks. As a side note to this story, too, the proposal has come about as the result of the ongoing fiscal hardship faced by the Italian government. And this proposal has been just one of many which has been put forward and may not actually end up passing into law. Another proposal which was put forward and may also not pass into law includes something called the mini Italian treasury bills to pay overdue debts to suppliers of the government and as a way to pay tax refunds, a plan which was met with disdain by ECB President Draghi, as the new instruments would likely be classified as illegal money. It says the only form of money in the EU is the euro. Bitcoin really stands out as a shining light among so much government dysfunction. Anyway, moving on. We now have some clarity about what the FATF travel rule will be specifically focused on. Now, as reported by Bloomberg, the new rules will require firms ranging from major spot exchanges such as Coinbase all the way up to asset managers like Fidelity Investments to gather data on all clients initiating transactions worth over $1,000 or 1,000 euros. That's crazy. There are going to be so many purchases and transfers of $999. That's what's going to happen. Look, at least they're not targeting small transactions. That would really be a nightmare. It would totally take away all retail applications for crypto. But these new rules, they stuck. They suck, guys. They really, really do. When you take in that we've got these really tough KYC policies, and now it's limited to $1,000 and all this stuff, having to report on the sender and on the receiver, it's crazy. Of course, it is important to note here that the actual implementation of the suggested rules from the FATF will vary by jurisdiction, so some countries may actually set harsher implementations of these rules, but it does remain to be seen how countries will implement individually. And of course, there has also been no conversation about proving provenance of funds. So where did you get that Bitcoin that you want to now deposit on Coinbase? that could be a very dangerous conversation if it does move forward at some point. Well, the rules have been announced and they have generally been agreed to by many of the countries. We have not actually had local laws passed yet. That might actually take a few years to happen. But if they don't pass these laws, they could face being blacklisted. So they will. Exchanges are already moving to enact the required changes with proposals from major exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken and Bittrex for a parallel system that will track users and track address information which can be shared among exchanges. New solutions for working within this framework will be absolutely necessary, since the travel rule is basically like implementing 20th century policy onto 21st century technology, basically making crypto exchanges follow bank rules, which just isn't really going to work very well. The real and immediate impact could be increased withdrawal fees at exchanges, increased withdrawal wait times, and a massive degradation of your personal privacy. And exchanges which are not able to afford to push through the required rules will likely find themselves on the fringes of viability in terms of liquidity and things like this, and could also have a negative impact on the business overall in the same way that the New York Bit license did when it was passed, basically making compliance to rules tougher than before and the process to get approved draconian. I would expect some exchanges are probably going to go out of business as a result of these rules. There'll be small exchanges no one really cares about, but it could certainly happen. This will also likely lead to small crypto funds going out of business as well. Nobody's probably going to miss them either. If the exchanges can be the leaders on this, on making this happen, and not the regulators, then I'm much more optimistic about how this is actually going to play out. But if it's the regulators, that's worrying. Of course, this is a story that we have to continue to monitor closely because of the implications that it will have for the industry in the coming years. And while this is happening, another exchange is delisting a wide range of crypto coins like XRP, EOS, Quantum, NEM, Monero, and many more, specifically for US users. This time it is Gate.io. By volume, not the smallest, but certainly not the biggest exchange, and is the third exchange in as many weeks to do this, following Poloniex and Bittrex and their delistings. And although curiously, not many of the cryptos that have been delisted across these three exchanges actually match. They all are largely random selections, not really paralleling each other. And of course, the announcement from Binance that their DEX website will be geo-blocked from US users, although users in the US can still trade via third-party wallets using the exchange. Do the exchanges know something that the general public doesn't hear? And again, you have to remind yourself that this is only about geo-blocking US users. And it's interesting the cryptos that they hit too on Gate.io. I mean, XRP and EOS, those are cash cows for an exchange. They are some of the biggest volume cryptos. That's going to hurt Gate.io because US customers are some of the biggest customers in the world. The staking coins, I get those. You know, you make a passive income, they could be deemed as securities. Okay, I kind of get that. And Monero, well, I love Monero, but that really speaks for itself. I mean, it's Monero, guys. It's Monero. It's so private you don't even know you have it half the time. Now, have these exchanges caught wind of something bigger, which is happening on the US regulatory scene but may not be general public knowledge yet? Maybe. Or, conspiracy theory time, is Coinbase lobbying regulators to put pressure on smaller exchanges to put them out of business? Just pulled that on my butt there, guys, but you never know. All options are on the table. However, I think the real takeaway from today's stories are to please make yourself familiar with how VPNs work so that you can actually get around geo-blocks, at least in a lot of situations. KYC is still a problem, of course, but also become familiar with how to use decentralized exchanges, guys. I have made tutorials on how to use Kyber Network and IDEX. They're super easy to use. If you need to know how to use those, go check those tutorials out. I will be making one for Switch.io here in one of these days. It's gonna come. And Nash as well when it does come out. And most decentralized exchanges are super easy to use, so get out there and use them, guys. Please. Now, you might think that all of these stories are bad and that Lark's out here spreading the FUD again. I don't see it that way. I really, really don't. First, of course, we have to keep in mind that knowledge is power, so we must keep ourselves informed of the good and of the bad as investors. And secondly, I have never been more bullish on crypto. These kinds of stories, they don't make me want to sell my cryptocurrencies. They make me want to go out and buy more. As the dysfunction of regulators and of governments becomes plainer and plainer for everyone to see. And I'm not alone. A growing number of people understand the power of decentralized money, which of course will lead more people to buying that decentralized money as an active vote against the corrupt governments and the fiat system. And on the day that these tough rules from the FATF were announced in the media, what does Bitcoin do? It breaks back above $8,000. That's what Bitcoin does. Why? Because investors realize that Bitcoin is unstoppable and is also big time undervalued. Of course, I am now looking forward to that retesting of $9,000. Can we cross over? It'll be very interesting to see. And of course, the day-to-day journey of Bitcoin's up and down price fluctuations is fun. But in 2 to 5 years, just imagine where we will be if things continue like they have been. And the Bitcoin halving is only a year away. And if the litecoin halving hype is anything to go by, then the Bitcoin halving hype is going to be massive. And so many investors are going to pile in to play that hype train. And seriously, just look at the time and the effort that the world's biggest and most powerful governments are taking to try and regulate and to control the crypto industry. But Bitcoin will not be caged. Technology will find a way. We can factor into all this stuff that the world's major economies are mostly drowning in debt. The political class is almost without exception hopelessly corrupt and incapable of effectively managing economies. The trade wars are heating up. Central banks just keep on printing money like it's going out of style. It's because it is going out of style, actually. Banks are stealing deposits from their customers, or at least proposing to do so, have done in the past. They're, of course, also committing massive fraud and continue to get away with it. Mobile giants are putting crypto wallets into phones. The world's biggest institutions are getting into crypto. They're selling crypto to their customers like Fidelity is doing. Or they are building on public networks just like Ernst & Young and their Nightfall project. Facebook, even Facebook. Facebook is going to launch their Orwellian tribute coin here in the near future. And the battle for the soul of crypto is happening right now. I think that's the important thing to underline, and it's going to be going on for years. We do have a range of powerful allies across the crypto economy, even if we have lots of haters, and even if there are out-of-touch regulators and all kinds of weird drama that happen in the crypto space. The best thing to do? Stack sats and chill, guys. But while chilling, don't forget to invite some friends along to the party, guys. Tell them about Bitcoin. Help a friend set up a wallet. Take that time. Give them their first $10 in crypto. It goes a long way. Sit down and talk to them like, hey man, do you know about the way the banking system works? Have those conversations. This is what we can do as a community, as individuals. We can educate our peers and spread the word about Bitcoin. Anyway, just my 2 Satoshis, guys. As always, you guys are super, super awesome. Also, I'd love to see everyone over in the Telegram group. It's called Cryptoholics Anonymous. There is a link down below for that as well. Come over and join us where we talk about all kinds of things crypto related. It'd be awesome to see you guys over there. And of course, if you did enjoy today's video, leave a thumbs up on it, guys. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new around here and click that bell to know when I put out a new video. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.